Let's begin the surface landmarks of arm. To start with the surface landmarks of arm, we have our solo bone, that is the humerus, which is present in our arm right over here, right? So the skeleton of arm is mainly made up of humerus, and medial and lateral muscular septa divide the arm into anterior or flexor compartment and posterior or extensor compartment. So the anterior compartment is flexor compartment, the posterior compartment is extensor compartment. Mainly to give each compartment its individuality and also freedom of action. The medial and lateral intermuscular septa are dividing arm into anterior and posterior compartments for this reason. So let us understand the surface landmarks. So coming to the first surface landmark, it is the greater tubercle. So greater tubercle is most lateral bony point in the shoulder region. It can be felt just below the acromion process of scapula, deep to the deltoid when the arm is by side of the trunk. Next, coming to the shaft of the humerus. It is felt only indistinctly because it is surrounded by muscle in the upper half. In the lower half, humerus is covered anteriorly by biceps brachii and also brachialis, and posteriorly by triceps muscle. As the humerus is almost covered by muscles, it's somewhat indistinct to find the shaft of the humerus. Next, coming to the medial epicondyle. The medial epicondyle of humerus is prominent bony projection on the medial side of elbow. It is best seen and felt in a mid-flexed elbow like this. Next, coming to the lateral epicondyle of humerus. It is less prominent than the medial. It can be felt in upper part of depression on posterior lateral aspect of elbow, especially in extended position of forearm. Next, coming to the medial and lateral supracondylar ridges. They are better defined in lower portions of medial and lateral borders of humerus. They can be felt in lower 1/4 of arm as upward continuation of the epicondyles. The deltoid forms a rounded contour of the shoulder. The apex of muscle is attached to deltoid tuberosity, which is located in the middle of anterolateral surface of humerus. So here will be the deltoid tuberosity, which is a V-shaped tuberosity. Next, coming to the coracobrachialis. The coracobrachialis forms an inconspicuous rounded ridge in the upper part of medial side of arm. The pulsations of brachial artery can be felt here and often seen in depression behind the coracobrachialis muscle. Next, coming to the biceps brachii muscle. The biceps brachii muscle is overlapped above by pectoralis major muscle and also by the deltoid muscle. So below these muscles you can find the biceps forms a conspicuous elevation, especially on front of arm. Upon flexing the elbow, the contracting muscles become still more prominent. The tendon of biceps can be felt in front of elbow. The tendon is a guide to brachial artery which lies on its medial side. So to the medial side of brachial artery, you will find the to the medial side of biceps brachii muscle, you will find the brachial artery. So brachial artery can also be felt in front of elbow joint, here in front of elbow joint, that is just medial to tendon of biceps brachii. Brachial pulsations are used in recording the blood pressure. The ulnar nerve can be rolled by palpating fingers behind medial epicondyle. So this is a medial epicondyle, this is a lateral epicondyle. So the ulnar nerve can be rolled by palpating fingers behind medial epicondyle of humerus. The superficial cubital veins can be made more prominent by applying tight pressure round the arm, then contracting the forearm muscles by clenching, unclenching the fist a few times. The cephalic vein runs upward along the lateral border. This is a lateral border. Runs along the lateral border of biceps. The basilic vein can be seen along lower half of medial border of biceps. The cephalic and basilic veins connected together in front of elbow by median cubital vein, which runs obliquely upwards and medially. So now we will understand the compartments of arm. If you see the compartments of arm, they are divided into anterior compartment, that is a flexor compartment, posterior compartment, that is the extensor compartment, by usage of two septums. One is the medial intermuscular septum coming from the medial side of the arm, and the other one is the lateral intermuscular septum, which is coming from the lateral side of the arm. So these two septum join the sides of humerus and divide the arm compartment into anterior or flexor compartment and posterior or extensor compartment. So this medial septum is pierced by ulnar nerve and superior ulnar collateral artery. The lateral septum is pierced by radial nerve and the anterior descending branch of profunda brachii artery. So what they are saying, the medial septum is pierced by ulnar nerve because ulnar bone is on median side, and also superior ulnar collateral artery. But the lateral septum is pierced by radial nerve because it's radial side, lateral side, and also by anterior descending branch of profunda brachii artery. So profunda brachii artery is on lateral side. So two additional septa are also present in anterior compartment, that is the transverse septum. The transverse septum separates the biceps from brachialis. So the transverse septum separating the biceps muscle from the brachialis muscle. This will be brachialis, this will be biceps, and encloses the musculocutaneous nerves. The anterior posterior septum separates the brachialis from the brachialis from the muscles attached to lateral supracondylar ridge. It encloses the radial nerve, anterior descending branch of profunda brachii artery. So this is all about the surface landmarks of arm and also the flexor compartment and extensor compartment, how they form by means of this median intermuscular septum and also the lateral intermuscular septum. In the next video, we will talk about the anterior compartment of the arm.